Today we're going to talk all about artifact variants, and this video is sponsored by the makers of Call of Dragons. And I've got to tell you, the artifact variant system is really cool. It was very confusing to me at first, but once you start using it, it's pretty intuitive. So we got a lot to talk about. Let's get after it. The artifact variant system is available in the Age of Duality season, and I kind of hope it will be available in more places. The way that this works is that, well, let's read the rules here, the 3 steps of the rules. Transformable artifacts will be unlocked as the season progresses. Only one variant can be created for each type of artifact. So here you can see there's Assault, Control, what is this? Overall, probably Support, and I don't know, it doesn't matter. Each of these is available, but you can only have one of these operating at any moment in time. You actually can create all of them simultaneously, and I think you would aspire to actually have all of them unlocked at some point potentially, and you unlock them with prestige. You can see I'm a little bit low on prestige at the moment, but I've already unlocked the Shadow Blades. We'll talk more about this in just a second. Let's read the second step. When equipping an artifact variant, the commander will gain both its attribute buff and artifact skill. So you gain everything from it, like you normally would if it's the primary hero that has it. While the deputy or secondary hero will only give you the skill of the artifact. So basically, if I use Shadow Blades as the primary, I can equip a second artifact on the deputy or secondary hero, and now I get to use the artifact skills from both. If I put Shadow Blades on the secondary hero, I will get this ability over here. In this case, it's a big AoE damage you see on screen here, but the stat buffs will come from the primary artifact. I'll show you that more in depth in just a second. Lastly, creating an artifact variant costs prestige. Some artifacts are subject to season limits and will be scrapped until the season or when the season ends. So you can see this artifact here, the Spirit Necklace, is Legion attack, 5% damage taken and dealt, and deal damage to the selected Legion, and this doesn't seem to care about physical or magic damage. So this would be really cool as a versatile option. All right. Now, keep in mind that my pro tip here is that Shadow Blades actually slap for a lot of reasons. This is dealing physical damage. It's in a rectangle shape. If you use this artifact as the secondary artifact, the deputy artifact, none of the stats apply anyways. You're just taking it for the ability. Is it good to do AoE damage on infantry? Sure is. Is it good to do AoE damage on marksmen? Obviously, that's what this artifact is for. Is it good to do AoE damage with cavalry? Sure is. So as a single artifact, this one is kind of legit and was my first unlock. So let's go take this thing for a spin out of my city and show you what we're really talking about here. So if I were to equip Shadow Blades here, now I have it as the secondary. If you're peacekeeping, you might use Freygar as the primary, as I do. So now I have Freygar with Goldcrest, Nightrock, and Sindrian with the Shadow Blades. So when I leave my city, now you see the double artifact here. Pretty cool. I can turn off auto casting so I can show you this, but I'll recover a little CP. We hit this level 42. Now, I have the option of using both of these artifacts. I'm going to do this even though I don't know what happens. I don't know if the Q hotkey uses both. Okay, it just used the one. And I can't push Q again to use the other, but here's my Shadow Blades now. Woo! Pretty cool, huh? Pretty freaking cool. So that's what happens if you use the Shadow Blades or your, what's it called? Artifact variant as the secondary. You're getting the benefit of the ability, but not any of the stats. So if I run this out of my city again, I can show this to you. That here you see the Shadow Blades are here, but the stats are coming from the Goldcrest. Only this ability, only this ability is coming from the Shadow Blades. if I put Shadow Blades over here, first, this is actually very important. Only one hero in a legion can equip an artifact variant. This is actually important to mention. So before you go make everything a variant, if for some reason you wanted to combine Kingslayer plus Shadow Blades, like you couldn't anymore. Like there can only be one variant in the Legion overall, I think. But let's go here. Let's do this. Shadow Blades like this. Gold Crest secondary. So now the stat bonuses, the exemplar, you know, extra stats, all the stats are coming from Shadow Blades rather than the Gold Crest. So if this is what you wanted, this is what you could do, okay? And I suppose will be reasons to do that. One thing that's important to mention here is, well, gee, you know, just as an example, I've got some artifacts here that, let's take a look at this one. Dragon Rift. This is only a 5-star artifact, so I don't have the extra damage dealt. So using this artifact as a secondary gets me the benefit of this level 5 ability without having to convert the extra emblems, which I obviously don't want to do right now, because I'd rather pull exemplars. So I don't have to, commit the emblems to get this thing to the 6-star status for the damage dealt and damage. Yeah, it's actually the damage dealt that you gain at that point. All right. But anyways, if I run it like this, and we hit this thing, you can see it switched the order. The stat and the ability come from the Shadow Blades now, and only the ability comes from the Gold Crest. All right. Now, if I use this ability, you can see it's still going to get netted, or did it? Wait a minute. We're going to have to mess around with that again, because there's 2 pieces of the puzzle on this Gold Crest. So we're going to have to do that again. One is the effect here. The other is the additional effect. The additional effect is when Freygar is in your Legion, you do extra factor and the target is immobilized. I don't think we got that. So the additional effect may not apply when they are the secondary. Only the effect. That's interesting, and certainly could influence what you end up doing. In the case of the Shadow Blades, in this composition exactly as we have it, now we have a compelling reason that you would want Gold Crest to be the primary and the Shadow Blades to be the secondary. That would actually fully answer that question of how you might want to do that. That is interesting. There's more I want to show you here, so we're going to wait the 20 seconds, but the thing is that I can't see what's coming in the future. So I can see that for Assault, we've got Dragon Rift, Kingslayer, Shadow Blades, Phoenix Eye, which, like, what a badass artifact to use as a secondary. Oh my god. The Exemplar effect does apply, by the way. And over here for Control, we've got Greymar's Warhammer, the Wolf Howl Violas, Thunder Elegy, and the Thunder Strikers. These are a defense artifact, so ideal for and for Cav. Inflicts stun upon the Legion and 3 nearby random enemies for 4 seconds. Can trigger once every 30 seconds. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Big stun. Looks savage. Let's see if we can get this to trigger. We want to see if a net is applied. So let's watch very closely. We got a rage up here. Okay, anytime now. Does this get... Okay, the effect did apply. It did apply. Okay. The additional effect did apply. They got netted. They were locked up. All right, good. I was a little worried about that for a second, because that would have some implications, but looks like the additional effect probably works. I'll update the pinned comment if I learn something contrary to that. So you may be wondering, well, Chisgule, I really need to know, like, what variants might come later, right? Like, what comes here? What's in the final 3 spots? I got great news for you. We can just make our way to the heroes, switch the artifact, hit replace, and scroll on down. And now, ooh la la, we have a lot of artifacts here, right? So we have the Spirit Necklace. We have the Adamantine Armor. This is infantry defense and legion defense. This looks really cool. The legion and nearby friendly infantry, 5 in total, take 10% less damage and are immune to all extra damage from being surrounded for 5 seconds. Does not stack or refresh when received multiple times. Can trigger once every 90 seconds. Get from artifact variants. Cool. We saw this one. What about this guy? There's so many in here. Wait, what is going on? Wild Courage. This is a artifact variant. Removes debuffs. This is Legion attack and March speed. I'm already suspicious of it because I don't like March speed on an artifact, but removes debuffs from the Wielder's Legion and nearby friendly legions, 10 in total. Oh my god. Affected legions gain March speed and defense. I'm not too convinced. The Druidic Diadem, also from artifact variants. Legion gains stealth and 10% March speed for 900 seconds. The first normal attack will reduce the target's March speed. Curious, that's an attack artifact. The Icon of Helios from variants heals the Legion, 1000 factor and removes debuffs. There's Viola's Bow and Lunaris. Here's the Black Sands box. The Legion, this is a cavalry defense and defense, so this is for calves. The Legion up to 5 friendly legions immediately return to their cities when routed. Wow. Prioritizes your legions, lasts for 900 seconds. Then Abyssal Mirror. Cav defense and legion defense. This is variants. Mirror's Gleam. When casting a rage skill in the field, the Wielder's Legion takes 20% less damage and gains exemption immune to most control effects for 10 seconds. Whoa. Then we've got Marksman hit points and Legion hit points. Repels up to 3 nearby enemy legions. Repels them, huh? Repels how? Oh, they get knocked airborne. Cool. The Wielder's Legion is immune to all physical damage and gains 25% March speed. Okay, very interesting. Obviously powerful. When someone gets close to you, you push them away. Get those pesky calves off your back. Here's the Morning Robes. Magic HP Legion HP. The Wielder's Legion and nearby friendly legions, 5 in total, gain a shield, factor 500, for each time the Wielder's Legion loses 20% of its maximum unit count. This is no cooldown and no rage cost. Prioritizes your own legions. Takes effects when leading magic units. And Emissary's Boots. After a 3-second charge up, teleports the Wielder's Legion next to a selected enemy. Oh god. The Wielder's Legion gains 250 rage. And the target loses 20% March speed for 5 seconds. Only takes effect when leading cavalry. Moving, being attacked, or being inflicted with a control effect will interrupt the charge up. Wow. So, there is a lot to look forward to with this system. The more I use it, the more I'll be able to advise on exactly what to do here. But I think the game plan would ideally be that you have 1 artifact variant of each type that you're running. So 5 legions, 1 variant per legion is what you want. The cost seems to go up, but good news is that there is a preferential policies that reduces the cost. And once you pay the cost to craft one of these bad boys, you don't have to pay it again to switch. So I think the goal is at some point in the season to have all of them crafted, and then you can use each of them as you see fit. You enjoyed the vid? Throw a like on here, subscribe. One final tip I will share that I wish I had known is that it doesn't look like you can use a variant in the Tournament of Champions. So a bit of a bummer here. Would obviously give you an advantage to have an extra artifact, but it either is not showing it in the interface. Let's just go equip it. I'll show you. It's either not showing it or you're not getting it. Yeah, I can't even try to equip it here. So, and then that is also true in the event we have running right now, the Crucible of Heroes. All right, there we go. I'm hyped for this system. I think it's really cool. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, you have fun, smash your enemies, and if you don't know how Crucible of Heroes works, check the card in the end screen. I'll break it all down for you.